Oh, hello again out there. Back for a little bit today, probably a couple hours. We are on part 65, and we're just going to finish up city planning today. Maybe start on some. But I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, and I've been studying for finals, like I said, and ready to take my finals actually on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll probably stream for a nice bit in the later half of each of those days, but I simply just do not want to right now too much, which is why I've been for a while. All that stuff is sorted out. But yeah, today the last little bit of city planning needs to happen, so shouldn't be anything too hard. I should go sleep, and then we're gonna check on the iron farm, the shulker farm, and the gunpowder farm. In fact, we need to clear out a little bit of junk. And I have like a whole extra box of what the did I really? Oh no. Okay, I don't. Oh wait, no, it's up there. I remember. Okay, so I thought I lost an entire shulker box of you know, like iron, which that would have been it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but like would have been really fucking weird. Bad flex. But here we go. We'll go ahead and just make a couple of spares here. I'll have to inevitably like make a lot of these boxes in bulk, but and then just store them away. I just haven't really had a major do that for now. We'll go ahead and just throw the extras in here. Why the shell not? See, it's funny because shell. But yeah, as you can see in the title, we're gonna pretty much be finishing up the rest of the major city planning today, which mainly we need to cut down our tree farm entirely, and we need to probably go get our tools fixed, and then we can just go ahead and put the rest of the outlines for these wood cutting houses out. And maybe start, getting the rest of the infrastructure in place so we can start with some basic stuff. And oh, we have the farming area that still needs to be done. I still have not finished that. No sphere work today. Normally a morning stream thing, so I've been just delaying it. Because has it been morning? No, it has not, so it's not happening. But we'll maybe go ahead and put a dock probably out here or something. Just so that way I do have some way back. Or maybe it'd be better because again I just need it to name said not be close enough for here to interfere, so maybe we'll here should be okay. And we're gonna get the rest of the dirt put in today and stuff too for these walls. I just haven't done because of how wide this dock is gonna end up being as well. We might be able to turn it into some kind of like lumber yard. That'll be something neat to look forward to. Actually, here we go. Yeah. We're gonna go check on all the stuff I just said we were gonna go check on, but immediately forgot to go do that. Have 3 and How we doing on mine? Because I'm not exactly seeing a minecart up there. Yeah, we may or may not be missing the minecart, which is why we've, installed that dispenser. How to ensure that you have an easy way to need it. But we're not worried about that for right now. We're just gonna go ahead and go pack away a ton of this extra iron for now. There should be quite a huge amount. Yeah. There it is, so that's cool. And we'll pack away a bunch of the poppies as well, because they need to go too. We'll pop those away inside of a separate shulker box, so don't need to worry about that for right now. Ooh. That's quite rare. Haven't had that happen before. Luckily, we're still doing fine enough on hopper storage, but we came here just in time. So we should actually expand this out properly at some point. 'Cause I've been neglecting this for quite a while now. Really not too bad, but I think it is about time that I expand the storage on this thing a bit. We'll probably add like an extra like 2 double chests or something. Should be plenty of work or plenty of extra space to do that with. Shouldn't be too much work, you know, get extra storage. Everything works out. And then we need to go ahead and respawn the minecart over there with that dispenser. Shouldn't take too long. There we go. That's pretty much the last of our iron here. Not too much more. There we go. Sweet. And we need our other box for our pocket, which will fill this up pretty damn quickly, so yeah, and as you can see we're already nearly full. But just to recap really quickly, it is day 657. That's pretty neat. We're getting up there. Not really too much more to say about it, to be quite honest. I mean, big number getting bigger, that's always neat, but way too important. Alright, we can leave these in here for now. There we go. Alright, that's enough of that. Go ahead and pop on over and check on them here. But I would have seen that line by now, so I'm gonna have to unfortunately assume somehow our minecart either got shot or something. But that's already a promising sign. If the fact that there's 9 shells in the fission chamber is honestly pretty huge. It should be going across correctly. We should see it snatch somebody here relatively quickly. In fact, it already has. And that's what we want to look out for when we know if the minecart's in or not, is those 2 blue lines, because one of them is the minecart sight line, but the other one is the shulker sight line. And whenever we see one of those sight lines like turning a bunch, that means the shulker is inside of it just looking around. Which, you know, is a good sign. But it looks like we have all 10 of our backup shulkers. We have 9 now, obviously, because we just kidnapped. But could have pumped out a very nice chunk. Ooh, yep, indeed. Very nice chunk. Nearly 3 stacks, including the product from the fishing chain. There you go. Dang, already teleported away without cloning. That's a little wacky. We'll maybe go put some of these away. Alright, some of these all need to be put away, honestly. We've got, that was a very nice chunk. I haven't checked it in a while, so it's nice to see it still, like, was producing quite a lot the last time I was playing. I haven't checked in the past couple episodes, but look at that, like 7 stacks, nearly 8, like very remarkable. Good. Pretty happy about that. We'll go ahead and turn those off. And the last little thing that needs to be checked is we have to go check on the gunpowder farm. Everything there is maintained. We'll go probably grab some wood from those trees because we have to clear them out anyways, but we'll go ahead and mass produce like 10 hoppers should be fine. I say mass produce, but it's like barely any. It should be one of these. Or is it this one here? It is. Oh, we already have the hoppers, huh? That's funny. But yeah, that's our spare iron box. We should actually condense these together. There we go. I just take this iron with me for a building project, so you know it's pretty like. Well, I say it's insignificant, but come on. Empty box with me for now, and maybe go grab that string and all that other stuff. See, we got some creepers falling and all that. So it looks like the redstone's still functional. That's good. Good thing to see. Yeah, let's see what we got in here. We are loaded. Yes, nice. So always good to see. Ooh, yeah. Make an entire shulker box of fireworks now if I wanted to. That's a very good thing to be able to do. I'll take some more of this string, and we'll resort the string and all later. The bones and the arrows here are like very negligible because there's not a lot of them, and they're not very important when they do go up anyway. So we'll pop the arrows into our arrow collection in here, but the bones can just dump them out to. I mean, hell, I farm at the Wither Skeleton farm. I don't need to keep those. But yeah, it's been producing while I've been doing other stuff. So like 14 or I don't know how to count apparently, but like what, like 11 or 12 stacks of gunpowder is a very respectable amount. That was. No, the funny thing actually, on the Hermitcraft server recently, Exumavoid actually just built this farm, which again, Ian Axafor, which was a very good farm, but I thought it was kind of funny to see that. Glad he's getting a lot more recognition. Really good farm design, so good to see things like that happen. Ah, yes, spare shulkers of random stuff that I have never put away yet. What we got in here? Dirt, cobble, dirt, other stuff, and then some big. Alrighty. 9, 10, yeah, 11 stacks of gunpowder. Very respectable amount. I have no complaints with that personally. We're gonna leave some of it there. And we're just gonna go ahead and cut down the rest of these trees completely. We'll replant these at a later date in a later spot, but I'll probably make an underground tree farm, like under my base, just because I can. And we need to, we're probably gonna need to redo the soul sand elevator as well at some point, so expect that to get changed. I'll have to go get some sand so I can like clog up all the water properly. We'll take the beacon like tunnel like down to the bottom there, so that way I don't have to like break my ankles or like waste a totem or whatever. Something could kill me if I landed all the way at the bottom there because I've got like if I'd have my chest plate on, I'd take 80% less, and I still have a totem in my offhand and 2 extra, so we'll test it. We'll say it's for science. It'll be fine. But we'll clog up all the water first, and then we'll go ahead and just jump down there with the protection 4 chest plate and the totem for insurance. Shouldn't have anything to worry about, I think. Probably. Let's just go ahead and get these cut down. We'll go sort away a lot of the. We'll go sort away the saplings and all that. And one of our last, like, kind of bigger projects that need to happen are, all this shit lit up. Like, pretty much as far as I can see, it needs to all be lit up, so just to make sure we don't get absolutely anything spawning even remotely close to here. That also means too I'll have to probably try and go through that mine shaft that we found in the ocean. I'll probably have to go through that and light all that up down there. I think I found that near the very start of me living here, but I was like, dang, I'll go explore this later, and then promptly forgot about it because it was very unimportant. And it still remains unimportant, especially now it's obsolete because, the only reason I would have went there was for like string, for that scaffolding. So I would have just turned one of the case fighter spawners into a scaffolding farm, but it's obsolete now because we got the actual like spider farm already, and there's no real reason to do anything else with it anymore. So I'll probably just like go in there and light everything up. Leave all the spawners intact, you know how that goes, but I don't need to do too much. What you need to do is switch these around. I've been falling into that bad habit that people do that I always like talk shit about, where like I'm in my base chilling and I have my elytra on even though I'm not flying. So I actually put on the chest plate a lot. Because I don't, I can fly around a lot more, but when I'm not flying because I'm cutting down a tree, it needs to stay on just in case. I still have a totem, for some freak accident that inevitably does happen, but it's gonna be a lot harder if the totem pops and I don't have a chest plate on. Because once it pops, and I have to like immediately shuffle a totem back into my offhand, and that takes time, and definitely gonna be stressed out if that ever happens. So I'm gonna have to think a little quicker than normal. But regardless, we just have to wait for this stuff to clear out. As I said in the past, we're gonna renovate this area a little bit. I'm probably gonna maybe make this curve a little bit more. So we're gonna shave away a little bit of the land to meet up with this part of the coast a little bit better. So they still have area up here to have their houses, like 2 or 3 of them, maybe like. But then all of this like kind of chunk of is gonna be for farming wood, or it's gonna be kind of like a forest, you know. So we still need to keep in mind that we're gonna have fencing go all the way around this coastline, which is why I'm kind of chopping this down and doing some other stuff. It'll make my life a little bit easier. But yeah, right now we should probably go ahead and get the that expanded storage I've been talking about. So we'll go ahead and just make like 10 chests should be plenty. I don't think so. Issue. Yeah, 16's fine, close enough. We don't need to expand the shulker farm at all. It's like always gonna have like enough space. We have one in the fishing chamber. We just got one dropped back off. Team split. There's some mobs and shit spawn. We did not split. That's crazy unlucky again. Oh well, not my problem. We'll go ahead. This all patched in. Cool thing is though, because of the way this iron farm is, I should be able to like climb up to here, and obviously I can't get up there without I can't even get up there with jump boost, but regardless of that, if I really wanted to, I could do. Well, like what I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. That didn't make any sense, but I'm trying to say is I could pop on my elytra and like glide over. That's crazy, but I could pop on my elytra, glide on back over to you, so I don't have to have a dock quite there. I do want one in general. I just don't if I really. There we go. I'll go ahead and get this stuff moving again. Give me a moment here. There we go. Good? Yep. Alrighty. It's going pretty good, Jake. I'm just back for a little bit today. And by a little bit, I mean probably like 3 or 4 hours or so. Just been studying for finals is all, so. And I've been taking a little bit easy too. I did the thing I said I wasn't gonna do, and I ended up ramping the whole like village pretty much completely like outside. So this thing ended up getting larger than I thought. So now all my stuff is like strictly in here, and then literally the whole way around is all villager stuff nowadays. That's cool. Said I didn't want to do that unfortunately, but I caved. I said fuck it. It might look good. It helps me kind of clean up this coastline a little bit. And then they got like a tunnel coming in through here, so it's still all completely interconnected. I just couldn't really achieve that with having like that tiny little bit like cut off. So and besides, if I really want to have more space, I can just like dig it. I got haste too, like anywhere I need it, so it deal. Let's go ahead and maybe grab some of these. Why did I do that? I need to put that on a chest. That's not what I wanted to replace. Oh yeah, they'll still be in the town. It's just the town has gotten so big, it's completely surrounded the entire island now. Like, they'll still be completely in the town, and then my area is still cut off. It's just I'm leaving less and less for myself, and I'm putting a lot more for them. Probably pull it up on that map here in a moment. I just have to get out of here. Never did quite get the timing right for this. I usually have to go to a wall. Oh, there we go. Didn't have to do that time. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, what ended up happening was and you can see where the fencing stops here as well. If I switch this out really quickly. But you can see where the fencing stops for now. But that was the original plan, was pretty much where all that brown stuff is all the fence, and that's where it was going to get cut off. So they wouldn't have been able to go pretty much on the entire west side of this island. And I said, fuck it. So now they can go, all the way around, like in one continuous loop if they want to. So all my stuff is still separated by like cobblestone walls. but that means the whole like entire coastline, can have like villager stuff, which is pretty cool. And it kind of helps add to it a little bit more because for there to just be like this itty bitty little section here that wouldn't have anything, it'd be a little wacky. So I just said I might as well just get rid of it. Today we're mainly going to carve away a little bit of the tree farm here because that's where I'm going to be building, because we're building an artificial forest in here. And then I got to put in like a house or two, like kind of dotted around because, kind of sat down and thought about it. I'm like, huh, how the hell do they get their wood if it's supposed to be an island? And didn't know that, so we were just kind of repurposing a lot of this shit. Like I just put in a whole new beach not too long ago and did some other stuff, so it's been pretty cool. Also, apparently I wasn't close enough to update that, so let me go do it quick. Didn't take too long. Ah, that's why it was on the wrong side. That's a little better. But I need to carve out probably about, like, we can slope it up a little bit more, but I want this to be a lot more like rounded to meet back up to about here, so just because the shape looks a little wacky with it kind of jutting out like that. But I'll go ahead and get it fixed, shouldn't be too bad. I need to actually stop and get my tools fixed at some point today because I've been saying I'm going to do that the past couple of days and I literally have not, so I don't really need to. They have plenty of durability. That was a misclick. They have plenty of durability, but still needs to get fixed someday. Oh yeah, I mean it's just because I have nothing else to do, so it's better to just like think. Well, I say I have nothing else to do when I should be trying to study more for finals, but like I want this to because this is a good practice for me because this is a like you've seen the sphere before. This is a comparatively small build compared to what the hell the sphere is going to be. Because imagine like all this stuff that I'm trying to do with all the different contexts and the story and how it actually like makes sense. And then put that in a fucking like 9 million blocks worth of volume of a sphere, and then I'm also going to be committing that same little like level of detail over into that sphere, but because it's nearly 9 million blocks in volume, gonna take me a couple of years to even flesh anything out really. So that'll be funny, but I mean that always gives me something good to work towards at least, which is kind of what I really wanted. That was kind of one of the main things about trying to build this stuff is I wanted something towards. But I've definitely got it. It's just been a little wacky just trying to get there. Oh, because this sphere is awesome. Like I even have like that, progress log where I like write down all the shit I've done because it helps me keep track of shit too. So I used to just because like I have an alt account on Discord and all that, so I would just like message my alt account with like coordinates and shit. But now I'm just trying to write it down in a book and quill, and I just like it personally. I think it's cool. I think it's funny. Like funny in the sense that I spent like way too much time building something that I thought up in like maybe an hour in like a phone call, and like that was pretty much it. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be my base now. Thanks for the idea. Bye bye. And then I'm actually doing it. So that's the weird part. Oh shoot, my music stopped. Ah yeah, at Copper Sphere, dude. I mean, I had to choose like worse materials because I'm building it too big. But even building it out of copper on like that scale is still like very hard. So mad respect for that. I peeked in back on that every now and then. Although I've been trying to take it a little easier. But it was pretty good, Big sphere. Big spheres are wacky. Mine's gonna ominously look like a Pokeball, but like a very big one, and by me. Pop that out. There we go. Oh, I don't know how much of this I want to carve away, honestly. I still want to leave enough of this chunk here, but I think really it's more about the oh shoot, how much more of this do I want to get? So I don't want to chip away too much, but I need to probably be a little careful. But I just think it's funny to, build something that big. And it's gonna actually like be functional too. Like I'm gonna be housing like an entire like giga city in it. Like I say Giga instead of Mega for that because again, it's gonna have like 9 million blocks of volume, so calling it a Mega base, I don't even think does it even any justice. So still will be really cool regardless, but it's gonna take a long time to finish. Which is fine, I got plenty of time. I don't plan on dying for a while. Spoiler alert. But I will be taking a lot more risk when 1.19 comes out, depending on, you know, the ancient cities. I want that Swift Sneak because it's very important to me that I get Swift Sneak because I have to. They have housekeeping here now. Huh. They might have housekeeping here. I might have to go that in a bit. But yeah, Swift Sneak pretty wacky. Not too much I want to do other than get Swift Sneak. Honestly, I don't need to get rid of that. Could actually probably remove some of this stuff. I want to remake some of this. Got a little distracted. I didn't know what that was back there. I think we have housekeeping in our dorm again. I'll have to go check on that in a little bit. Ah, yeah, I'd bet. I mean, thing can hurt, and the thing's got a lot of health. Can't kill it that quickly, unfortunately. Pretty fair. I mean, I'm going near him a little bit, because, you know, why not? But I'm just gonna simply not try and piss off the warden, so... Shoot, I keep forgetting what I'm doing half the damn time. We want more of this carved away, I just don't know how much more. Oh, I need to actually map out specifically what needs to go. So we're gonna take some of that time. That's not what I meant to do. Maybe, like, just have this just for reference. So this edge is still fine and all that, but we're going to maybe just plot a little bit of this out. Here we go, another, that one there, and then we go into one. Then we should probably start meshing this together a little bit better. And we'll go ahead and check it out on the map to see what we're working with. Alright, so that should be enough. So if I go ahead and pull out the map, we're gonna see it should stick out well enough from the podzol as well, these path blocks. The answer is it does not. That's a little wanky. Maybe I can get something a little bit nicer. Or maybe start like replacing a ton of this with grass anyways. I need to make sure to remember to relight a lot of this anyways. I know it's not going to spread to the podzol or nothing, but I kind of just want this to hopefully help me mark this out a little bit better. That should help maybe a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but it's not like I really need to see it. I could. That is the wrong shulker box. Could be in here. The room left it sitting here. I'll see how this looks. I can maybe see it. We'll maybe take a little peek back in on the take a peek on the main map to see if we can actually see it better. Or I can, if you know, push comes to shove, I'll just fly up above and like go take a screenshot. It's just easier to see it on a map because, you know, probably tell if it curves a lot better. So you can't see the path blocks too well, but you can actually see the, you know, everything else part. Maybe get up a little bit close, but you can see, you know, the grass blocks representing that curve, and then you can actually see the path blocks, although it is a little, but I think that is a pretty solid curve. So we need to get rid of every single block on the outside of this curve, and we should be okay. Should help kind of smoothen things out. Then, you know, we put in like a house, and we'll get rid of all the cobble deep slate. Getting that curve mapped out is pretty important, but it looks like it worked out pretty well, so I got no complaints with it. So we'll go ahead and get to shoveling, I guess. Shouldn't be too bad. But where these cobblestone walls are, this is all my stuff, so I shouldn't be able to get into here. I'll try and mark it out a little bit better, but I got really good working with these kinds of curves because of the sphere. I did look at so many different patterns for them, and it took such a long ass time just to even get enough of these layers in. So I'm glad I'm able to kind of do this from scratch pretty much now, because I've had to deal with it so long. I might as well be able to, right? Maybe go ahead and get some of this cleared. I should have a. I guess I don't have an empty one on me. I'll have to go back and make at some point. I'm trying to make sure I save a bunch of this dirt and grass because I need a lot of it all the time. And same with the cobble. I'll definitely need it later too. Mainly because I need the dirt and cobble for the is where the farmers are gonna live. They're living inside that hill where I like turtles and all that. And I need more dirt to actually fill it up properly, so I had to look into getting some more of that. We'll have a little temporary block here just for now. I can always get rid of it later. I think anything could really wander in over there. But gotta make sure to be a little careful. An eye on it from time to time. But we're probably gonna sleep here in a moment, and then we're just dumping away what I can. Focus. Which you know, again, I'm gonna be making more here momentarily. This ain't permanent. Here we go. Probably can put away some of these hoppers and wood for now. I know they don't go in there, but I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, let's just go ahead and pop the bed down here real quick. And then we'll go ahead and grab some spare shulker boxes. Didn't take too long. Oh, don't I actually already have a spare one? I thought I did. I could have sworn I had that other spare one. I had to have two because I was emptying this out earlier. I've actually put in more storage because, you know, I needed more. And I'm planning on renovating my actual house too at some point, you know, the place I'm living at. So it's not all stone, it's just stone was a placeholder because it looks fine enough and it's easy enough to get. But, you know, I'll start working on my actual house part here at some point. I think quartz could look pretty good, but I'll have to go out and mine like an excavator, you know, make a bartering farm, which I don't want to ever do for a while. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Ooh, that was not supposed to be broken. Concrete's pretty cool. It just means that I'd have to go out and do more grinding for like sand and gravel, which is fine. I don't mind that, but you weren't here for it quite yet. But I spent like a literal week and a half straight, more or less, just gathering sand and terracotta to actually get all the materials for this year. and that left me burnt out permanently to some extent in terms of just having to grind for a massive amount of blocks in a really short amount of time. Which, I mean, I like concrete. I have the dyes to make it and all that, and it's just sand and gravel. Like, this is my first Silk Touch netherite shovel. I've actually got a spare one as well. So that's not even the issue. It's just literally that, you know, getting sand and gravel to make concrete means that I would have to get sand and gravel to make concrete, and it's boring, and it takes a while. Colors are really vibrant, so it is worth it, but only on some things. And I mean, I can insta-mine it and all that, you know, just even without a beacon, so that's not even the issue. But I'm tending to use terracotta a bit more, because I don't want it to be, like, too, like, crazy vibrant. Like, it would definitely help on the lighthouse for the white, like, instead of white terracotta, it would have white concrete. But there are certain colors that are fine, like the red and the red terracotta looks good to me personally. Like, it's not really dull, it just looks good. So like that wouldn't be something I'd use for concrete, for example. But like the white terracotta, I'd switch it out with white concrete in a heartbeat if I actually want. Because it's fine, it's passable, but that, you know, extra bit of like really vibrant white would help that a lot. But it just kind of depends, because some are worth more than others. Some colors of terracotta and some colors of concrete. They're not all made the same. So until I exactly figure out which ones are actually worth more. And some I can always work on in the future too. Hell, I could even, if I really wanted to, I could make one of those, like, concrete powder, like, farms and all that. But, you know, the thing is, I've been trying to, like, hold off on using, like, glitches for, like, as long as humanly possible, or exploits or whatever. Because, you know, I just don't want to, personally, this time around. I mean, I could have already made a concrete farm by now using the, you know, using the end portal and all that, like, I know about that. I just haven't really wanted to. And I've been meaning to go break bedrock, which isn't really, like, it's just breaking bedrock, like one piece of bedrock, so that's a little bit different to me, but... And hell, I don't even need to technically break bedrock to get up there. I could just, you know, use like an ender pearl and a ladder and just go make an ender portal up there, so I could even do it without it, but, you know, it's a little bit cooler to at least have like a fixed way up there, but a little sidetracked on that. Basically, it's just, you know, I will use concrete at some point, I just don't want to for right now. Although I definitely will. It'll be more for it'll be more on a smaller scale and all that, because you know, it'll probably be used for like decoration and like more colors and all that stuff. But like for the sphere, if I made that out of red concrete instead of red terracotta, you know, I'd have to go out and find a mountain for it, and then I'd actually have to have all the dyes to make it. That was the other thing too, because I could mine a lot of the you know, red terracotta naturally, because it just spawns like that. And then I'd only have to die a little bit near the end, but having to make sure I had enough. And you know, this wasn't this was a little bit before the wither skeleton farm and, you know, the iron farm when it was just built. But having to get all the dye for like 50 shulker boxes of, you know, concrete would have been too much, or at least at the time. It probably is a lot better now, because that's only like 6.25 or something like that of like shulker boxes of red dye. But I just don't want to use it on that large of a scale, because, you know, it means I have to go get sand, and I have to go get gravel, and deserts are boring, although the mesa's boring too. We don't talk about that. But I do just need to, I do need to start using concrete a little bit more, honestly. I want to, I just, you know, don't really want to have to go out and mine it. Which I will at some point. You know, it's just not quite the right time now. I'm just trying to have fun with it for now. And, you know, again, there will come a time and a place for that, but I've just been kind of running out of time to do this before I go like on a big break, and then I got finals and all that stuff. But oh yeah, like I know it's, you know, legally like I think considered the Badlands, but I mean, hell, it's interchangeable enough. You know, Badlands, Mesa, like, you know, close enough at least in, at least in terms of this game. So I just kind of call it whatever. Yeah, at one point I started calling it that place where I just mine terracotta, because that's pretty much all it is half the damn time. You know, still Badlands, but all I went there for was for terracotta. I didn't even touch any of the red sand, I just went to the nearby, like, actual desert for the sand, for all the glass. But I gotta get back into building the sphere. It's just been nice being able to take the past couple of streams to just kind of build, you know, and just get all the city planning done, and then, you know, we can start building the sphere after I'm done with my final exams on the next couple of weeks, but that's gonna be a little while. Oh, I should probably use haste. Wonder if I dipped in and out of like the haste beacon effect range like really quickly, because I don't want to just go making a whole new beacon. I wonder if this... Oh, damn it. Here we go. I mean, yeah, sure. The tip's always nice. Also, I should just make another beacon though, but that would mean I'd have to go make another beacon. Which I can do, I just don't want to. Oh shit, there was some emerald over here. That's crazy. Alright, might go make the... Well, it's a little bit too late now. There's so little of an area left, I don't even have to really consider it anymore. That's alright. Wait, so if you stand at a distance from the block you're mining so you can't mine the block behind it, you'll insta-mine it. So like if I was here, I can't like actually reach the one behind. Unless that is with haste or something, but... Maybe later, I don't know. I'm like very slow today because I've just been taking it easy and it's been a little... But... It's a little wacky, but... Probably with haste, I'm guessing, but... Either way, I'll figure that one out later. Either way, appreciate the tip though. I'm just kind of a little bit stupid to understand it right now, so sorry about that, but... I appreciate it regardless. I have got to put the rest of this away. And it's almost done anyway. I don't have too much more left to do here. Only just some stone. Bringing this one out, damn it. That's not even the right thing, come on. Oh, jeez. Thank you, damn. I have to make sure to sort all this stuff out later. Shouldn't be too bad. And is this still running, or do I have to go put in another minecart? Nope, we're good. It's up there. Luckily, there ain't really too much left, so I don't really have to have insta-mine, but... I think it's good to take things slow, I guess, from time to time. Not too slow. But this shape is just for the actual coastline. I can, you know, slope it back down to meet up to this land better at some point. I just, you know, I'd like to get in all the fencing first, and then I can, in like one day, like eventually worry about all the other shit. But because it's not really too hard to like, you know, slope these coastlines anymore and like actually have a proper beach for them. Because all it is just like making curves and all that. So. Oh yeah, because there's that point where like you can pretty much almost insta-mine, but you quite can't because it does have that built-in delay. So I guess there is some way to exploit that, like you said. Um, I mean it's not too big of a deal for right now, but I'll have to read into that a little bit later too, because I'll probably try it out in like a creative world or something. Because it's not like it's anything bad here. I'm just like gonna have to look up more of a guide on it, because again, I don't know how to read today apparently, so who knows, I'll get better at it. And it's really not too big of a deal for now. I'm honestly pretty close. But this whole section here is just for wood cutting and all that. I do kind of forget that they need a place to get their wood, considering that's like half the houses are going to be made out of wood or have like a huge emphasis on it. So like a lot of the city like kind of apartment building kind of things are going to be made out of like terracotta or concrete or maybe some both of them, but I still need wood for a lot of stuff. I need to get some interior work done. I'm actually I'm thinking about dialing it back a little bit on the city like area with some of the stuff I've outlined. So I feel like I put in too many like kind of apartment complexes in there. So we might dial it back just a slight little bit. Because I think at most I'm only gonna cram like 100 villagers in here at the absolute max, but oh yeah, actually I've already got that plotted out too. Well, I don't have any of the buildings in there plotted out, but I know what the area is, and because it's all gonna be like carved into a cave, I'm not gonna like do any outlining there. But there's already a cave out there on that like I think it's the eastern beach over there, where it's got the beach there, it's got a little bit of grass, and then it leads into a natural cave that I'm gonna renovate with some stone and make it look a little bit better. And the cool thing about that too is there's actually an undersea like cave network already, like all under here. I'm planning on using that as well. I think it'll be really cool because then that also means I can connect like well you can't see it from here I guess, but there's a place. Well, I'll show it here in a second. I'm not very good at explaining it right now. But we got all this done. Should look better on the map. I'll go ahead and pop over there so I can kind of show off what I'm talking about quickly, and we'll get rid of this cobble deep slate a little later. But for now, go ahead and get this switched. There we go. But yeah, I'm thinking about toning like one of these back. And if I had to tone one of them back, it would definitely be this one, for sure. I don't like this one here. So we'll probably leave these two in place and, because I can always dig them into the ground a little bit more. And restaurant bar, it'll also lead down to the beach. And yeah, here's the cave here that I'm planning on using. So it's just a cave, literally nothing too spectacular, but it's big enough to where I can like hollow out some stuff kind of in the sides here and things of that nature. Yeah, exactly. I could always replace them with a lot more greenery and stuff, which is why I really put in a lot of the grass first because I don't want to have to import all that. But I probably will have a couple of like I'll have like a body of water or three like somewhere in this place as well. It's just kind of a little weird picking out nice spots because like there is like a little bit down here. I think I could reasonably put in a lake. Oh, and I think I wanted to oh, that was another thing too. I was gonna decommission like a nice chunk of this stuff because this is still only stuff I can access. This is where it ends. So like they can access anything there, and then the rest of this over here is mine. But I've been thinking about. Oh, I guess actually I could renovate this into more like a waterfall kind of thing or something, and have it like pool out here or something. But I was gonna just like kind of have like a little bit more housing kind of here, and then walk around. But I don't think I'm with that now. But I can definitely redo some of this to have a lot more water in it and all that. Like, they literally can't do nothing with that because that's where all like the crops are going. And like in the areas like this, for example, these just look cool. So we'll probably have like some watery bits here and there. It's just too thin to work with properly, but I'll try and have some like bushes and some other like actually like foliage and all that. Um, can't really have too much water here. Here would be a pretty decent spot. Actually, no, because that apartment's there. But either way, there is enough I can do. I just need to like think about it a little bit more. But I do want to actually add some like fresh water at some point. Like here would be a solid enough spot just to have something like pool into here or something. It's just a little weird for now. Or I could have something pool into there, or have some greenery like here and there. This is the last kind of big place I need to work on because I'm gonna flatten all of this out and then like literally just build like one or two houses like in here, which it's gonna look a little like wacky, but that's kind of the point. Because I still want to keep it separate from these guys. I don't want them going down into there and getting stuck. Well, it's another weird thing too. I still want to carry over some of the glass down into here just because. So I'll have to like kind of like match it up with that. Like the glass up there, help it come into this like floor as well. And then we can still have villagers and all that. But these villagers that are gonna live in this part, they're just farmers. Like compost are there, there, and there. They can come down over to here, which is where all the wood cutting stuff is gonna go. If I were to have like any kind of body of water like feature, which the other reason why I don't tend to have that, at least for now, is because I'm worried about them like swimming up it, and then some stuff I don't account for happens, and they like die en masse, being very stupid. So I kind of don't want that to happen either. But if I were to have a body of water, it definitely would be the one at the top of that mountain, and it'd waterfall down into about here and kind of like a small pond or something. That's something I would probably do, but I just don't want them swimming up into here at all. My other issue. But they can have some water. I just don't want to have it be. Well, they swim up automatically, I guess, so they won't really drown. But I'm probably gonna rework this. But I do want some better, like, kind of water bits going around here and there. It's just been kind of weird deciding where stuff like that should really go. But I mean, I'll figure it out at some point. I just don't quite know. But we're gonna go ahead and just get rid of this. I guess actually here would be solid enough. I just didn't want anything. Will that block that off? That probably won't block that up. I need to remember to replace these. But I don't think a small body of water here will block a whole bunch up either. I could actually have water more as a decoration rather than like as an actual like pond or lake or anything. Because I mean it's uh surrounded by an ocean. Like even at the deepest point inside here, there's still like you're pretty close to water, and they actually have the whole coastline to work with as well. But some inland body of fresh water would be nice, I guess. It's just a matter of where, because I still want them to get to it. But oh, this actually would be perfect. This would be one of those prime examples of like using water more as a decoration rather than something they actually use. I'm thinking about getting rid of this staircase now, and if I do, what I can do is I can like have some water flow down and just keep flowing down. It won't look too well. Can't really see it anyway, so that's also kind of the other reason too. But I just don't want them getting into it, so I'll have to figure out. But I'm getting sidetracked again, anyways. Oh, also I built this cut through point here as well. So they've actually got like I gotta put in actual staircases. All this is like scaffolding work for now. Obviously, this is like extremely temporary, but I'm using like different colors to represent districts. But for them to actually get up into here from like the beach, I've like carved out a small little spiral staircase into the we just saw up there at the top actually. So they can kind of come up into here, and then wow, they can go back down into here, and then this one idiot who lives like here, because these houses are going to be baked into the mountainside a lot more. And we're pushing this back. This is just a show where I should dig. I should actually have pushed these back when I was building it. That's all right. These are going to show where they live, and I'm also going to be redoing it. The stone for the walkway is just a placeholder for now, and these are placeholders for the fences that I'm eventually going to put in. I haven't yet, but I'm going to. But pretty much the outer edge is gonna have like fences, so they have like a 2 block wide like street per se to walk through. So like another house here, boom. Another staircase leading up into here. That itself leads into another house as well. So enough of these are connected, and then the one that's up there is connected actually to the castle. That's a separate thing, but enough of these are connected together. Which again, we'll have staircases in, we'll have some slabs. It's just gonna look cool. That's crazy. That's a toilet, but I know. Then another like cut through point. This one was weird because I still needed this to be the central part, but I also needed to figure out a way to kind of get them in and out. So this is what I ended up settling on, and it does its job. And then a lot of this is temporary, but it's just to at least show that I've at least mapped out where the walkways and the fences go. And then another house, another house, another house, and then that's pretty much where it ends. Except for we got a connection point here that leads down into this beach as well. And then, you know, I have this sealed off because this is still something I use and that they shouldn't be touching, footpath and all that. So we're just going to seal it off with fences completely because I still have fence gates there. And that's pretty cool. So then they can still walk around through here. You know, fences all around this side. And then if they want to cut through over to here, and we're going to decorate this tunnel. It's not just going to be stone. But yeah, this all get decorated. And then they meet up with the wood cutting over here. And then it just kind of loops on itself where, you know, they go through these woods that I'm inevitably going to plant. They go through that whole ass forest. I forgot to. Oh wait, I don't need to light it up anymore. They go through that forest. You know, they can end up over to here, so they can either go back up to the farm or, oh, not or though. Actually, no. There is. Excuse me. There's a second choice. They can go back through there, or they can go around here and end up on this beach over here. Which, wow, hey, that's where we started. That's crazy. But that was really my main reason for making that whole other section was because, you know, now you can walk the whole way around without literally having to like do anything, which is pretty cool. And it kind of helps like, you know, spread some stuff around. But I still have some finer things I need to work out. Like, I think I could reasonably let them walk around up here because I don't think there's anything too steep that would like, you know, cause them to take fall damage and like die over it in like enough time. But you know, because if I was able to let them go up here, I can't let them go into there, my pumpkin farm. Well, I can always relocate that too, or just leave that one there specifically to look nice. But I'd have to so I wanted a body of water. I'd have to like make it pool over there, like I've talked about. And I still want them to be able to climb up here because they're definitely gonna take that water source like up at some point. I just, you know, need to have something in place to where if that does happen, it's not too big a deal. Oh yeah, they're all gonna have beds and they're all gonna have workstations. All of them. Every single one of them is gonna have a bed and a workstation. Like that's how functional this place is gonna be. So they're all gonna have beds and their actual like workstations are gonna be like, you know, not where they sleep and all that. So I'm not just gonna put like a well, some of them might like there might be like a guy like you know who works in his house, but that's because he's got like a smoker in there to cook food or whatever. But pretty much they're gonna work and sleep, you know, in separate areas completely. Oh, to some extent, except for these bozos, but they actually gonna have their own like houses in here, and then you know the actual like mining shit, and they'll have access to the crops. Yeah, that was kind of the big point about this farm over here. Take this back quick. That's also why I've put in some of these cut through points, like this lighthouse being a spiral staircase. So literally the whole island that I've mapped out for them, like you could be a farmer living in that hill, and you should be able to go all the way to the complete other side of the island as like a villager. You don't have to jump. You don't, you know, you're not affected by jump boost. You can just walk up some stairs, and you know you're pretty much set. Like, it's literally meant to be idiot proof for the villagers, which is why I've been like so very specific about what I'm trying to do here. Well, yeah, I mean, actually, to be fair, it shouldn't really matter if one dies, so they will just breed and make a new one. But I'm just, I mean, actually, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. It might just be weird with some desync. I don't know. Like, I don't want them like let's say like I don't know, like a fisherman over there dies. Like they can still get over to there just fine. Let's say a fisherman over there dies, and you know enough crops are passed around over time, and eventually a new one, you know, new baby happens. Because the other thing too is I don't know if this is too big. Even with all the beds being spaced out fairly evenly, I don't know if this place is considered too big to really to count as one village, or if it's gonna somehow like magically split into like two villages, just like technically. I don't think that'll be the case. Like I don't think there's like a limit on how big a village can be. I think it's more like a distance thing, but not like a number of beds thing. But I mean, yeah, hypothetically, if one of them does die, it's not too big of a deal because they will probably just have a baby over enough time, and then since they can walk there, you know, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And all this is made too, so even baby villagers shouldn't even have an issue, or they shouldn't get into some like weird like nook or cranny that I just neglected. So I mean, yeah, I guess it shouldn't be that bad. It's just I'd like to try and avoid that if I can, because it would just be kind of like negligent, you know. And plus, if I lose all of them, then I have to go, you know, bring which I can always go bring in more. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, I just wouldn't like to have to replace any of them if I can help it. Where is that dirt? There's that dirt. But no, I probably will just. I guess it's honestly okay if some of them die. I just don't really want all of them to die. I also forgot to put this terracotta. Here we go. But yeah, enough of them can die. It shouldn't honestly be too bad. Oh yeah, that's also the other thing too. The reason why this is going to be so big as well is because my bed is as well is going to interfere with them. Nothing from the iron farm should interfere because they're all like synced up to their beds properly. But it's my bed. It's gonna have to go at some point. So I'm gonna like probably move it in like one of the first houses or whatever because I don't want there to be any kind of weird issues with it. So when I move one in here, I'll have to make sure my bed's gone, and then the first bed should be fine enough. But they're all gonna have their own workstations, their own beds, and because they're gonna have their own beds, at some point iron golems are gonna start spawning and just kind of walking around here. And I know if I want to prevent that, because the criteria for iron golems to spawn is like I think every villager has to have like slept in the previous night. So as long as I like have enough villagers, like if I have X amount of villagers, I need to have X minus one amount of beds, so that not every villager can actually sleep. And then then I just don't want that to cause any like weird ass issues either. It's not that big of a deal. They spawn. They're actually kind of nice for extra protection just in case, but they're not really needed either. And it's not like they, or I could always store them somewhere or just kill them. I just don't want to kill any, but keep forgetting to show off the damn undersea tunnel that I've been talking about. But Mining Town, we've been here before. But what you might not have seen is like right about down here, and we'll have some other way for him to get down into there, or like we'll probably have like a dock here, and then like directly to the side of that dock would be this when I need to widen it out some more. But I've already mapped it out with glowstone, but we got a whole undersea network of caves, and anything that isn't glowstone is not like interesting to me, just so I know where I'm going. But we can always like position some stuff here and there. But basically, you just can follow the glowstone, and all of a sudden you're on the complete other side of this place. And hey, wow, we're back in this other area. So I want the mining village on the other side to communicate with this one, which is more for like deep sea mining for like certain other metals and all that stuff. So the mining village is for mining stuff out of the actual mountain, like stones and all that. But the deep sea one is a lot more for ores or just I guess kind of doubles as their navy or some shit. I have yet to figure out what I want to do for the for like the jobs for the mountain village as well, because all of them are gonna have to have workstations. I want them to make enough like sense, but there's only like 16 jobs, and it's can't have that many fishermen. But luckily, like things like librarians are usually like good like filler ones and all that. So, but I also, because there's also another cave opening here. So they can use those undersea caves, or they would be able to come out from here, and then they can go around the whole island. Well, but I'm also, because this was my manual shulker shell farm, I'm thinking about renovating this building into it's still the shulker farm up here, but when it comes to the stuff down here, it's a lot more villager based. A whole like undersea like study operation or whatever the hell. I mean, I'd figure it out probably, but I think it could be pretty cool to actually like make a building connecting this up, and they like study a shulker or whatever. Like it adds nothing, like realistically. Like I don't get any benefit out of doing that, but it'd be cool. That's something like way in the future because I really just need to focus on the other stuff now. Oh, and this is also a nice cut through point for me. I need to get rid of some of these at some point. Actually, not at some point. We'll do it now. This needs to get moved, but they're not supposed to be over here, so I don't really care. Back at my base and all that. But you can walk the whole coastline around, and there are enough like points like the undersea tunnels and like this tunnel here that I've built, and then the other one that's up there. There's enough of these other like shortcuts per se that let you like get to other parts of the village like a lot quicker and a lot easier instead of having to go the whole way around, which is still an option. But when it comes to helping like populate this thing the first time, and then in case any of them do die, it should help out a lot because they can just I don't think they'll know to take him, but at least the coastline is there, so that's, you know, guaranteed that that'll work at least. But for shortcuts like this, for example, because otherwise, like to get over to this other side, I would have to, you know, take the lighthouse, go down, and then come back up. But here it's just, okay, here's a tunnel, and then, you know, we'll decorate it, make it look nice, and then put it here. Like, no questions asked, you're just kind of here on a whole nother side of the island. So I think that's pretty cool, but I am getting very distracted. I should be working on that other part, which is, you know, getting rid of that podzol and getting all that grass in place. And I need to map out the last little bit of these houses over here. That we need to do some stuff. I think that's gonna make it hydrated, so I'll have to go through and, you know, stomp all of it out. Especially with it raining, that's what might do it actually. And for some reason you can't till podzol, which stinks, so I have to turn it on at path blocks and then till it, and then, you know, once it stops raining it'll dry itself out and then turn back into dirt over enough time. At least that's what the goal is. There we go. And then, you know, the grass will do the rest of the work. But I am gonna be growing like mega spruce trees, but the thing is when I'm like, you know, when I grow one, it's just going to you know, I'm just gonna go out of my way to get rid of all the podzol, because those ones will just be for aesthetic. I'll probably bury the actual tree farm like under my base somewhere. Just so it's a little bit more out of the way and all that. But I have enough, like, you know, horizontal, or not horizontal, I have enough vertical space to work with because I got haste and all that, where I could just dig out, like, my entire base and, you know, make it a lot more of a cave base this time around. Still could look pretty cool, just not something I'd like to try and do. Not that I wouldn't like to try and do it, it's just gonna be a little bit interesting to get it done. Wouldn't be too bad, though. And I've got to go get my tools fixed up soon. I'm neglecting to do that for a little bit too long. And then with the rain hydrating the soil, it's making my life a little bit harder. It's not a thunderstorm, so I can't sleep it off either, which stinks, but oh well. It'll dry out, and if not, I guess I can just stomp. Oh, I could actually, I think I could pour some water on it, and eventually it'll turn back into dirt if I leave it down for. And I can just stomp out the little bits that are left, so might not be too bad. Come on. Come on. Here we go. We're gonna take this off, damn it. Still not trying to take any chances with that. Yeah, it is kind of wacky that you can't. It'd save a lot of headaches, but, you know, it would be pretty nice if I could. Not really too big of a deal, honestly, but it is just, it's a little inconvenient. I mean, it's not a big deal now because, you know, I got the tools for it, but, you know, if I wanted to, I don't want to have to use a hoe and a shovel, like, you know, if I was just starting out. Take a lot of time and effort, or something that's not really too worth it. But I guess it's supposed to, is it supposed to be, like, dead, which is why you can't till it, because it's not actually, like, viable farmland or something? I don't know. Making excuses or something, who knows? That's pretty much all of it. Alrighty. So I guess I can just either stomp out a lot of this, or I can just wait until and I'll probably just wait until nighttime so I can sleep, and then go ahead and get turned into, get the rest of it turned into farmland, and then, oh, actually, hang on, we need dirt. I need to get rid of that common deep slate. There we go, that should be enough. But we'll go ahead and carve this out while I'm still thinking about it. But their houses are going here on the old tree farm, so that's why I gotta get all this stuff in order before I start building. And then I'm actually building the woods kind of like surrounding this area quite a bit, so I want to make this a fairly large forest. It's just gonna look cool, but it's not really gonna do nothing. I could. I mean, yeah, fair enough. That's honestly a valid assumption to make. I mean, I have no clue what it's supposed to be either, but it at least looks good in certain like contexts. It's just I don't like the look of it, and I don't actually have those contexts that I need to use it, so I pretty much just burn it on site at this point. I pretty much like eradicated it completely. Like, there's a little bit like kind of buried in the side of the land here and there, but on the surface, there's pretty much none. I think I maybe left a tiny little patch by accident somewhere in there, but it's so negligible it doesn't even matter. But I've just been taking a break to pass time because I mean I've needed a break. I've like a couple of I think it's been a week by now, but I played like 9 hours in like one day and like streamed the whole fucking time, and then the day before that was like 8 hours, and the day before that was another 8 hours, and I spent nearly like 30 hours in the course of 3 days just building and doing stuff, and then with finals coming up I just needed to take a break anyway to go study, so it also doubled as a break for me to not try and get burnt out too much, which I would have liked to stream a little bit more, but I have to make sure I'm taking a very hard like business essentials class. It's a math class, and it's just a lot of statistics and stuff. But like, class is difficult. But if I pass it this time, well, not if I literally have to pass it. Otherwise, I lose my funding, so I don't have a choice. But as long as I can pass with like a C, I'm not too worried. Because yeah, I won't have like the highest GPA this semester. Like I have 3 Bs and a C. That's fine for now because I did good last semester. The cool thing is, I'm kind of in the home stretch for my degree after this semester. Like, well, after summer specifically as well, because summer is going to be a total pain in my ass. I have to take 3 classes in a course of 12 weeks, and 2 of them are in 6 weeks, and the other one is in a separate 6 weeks. So it's an absolute like slog to get through that, but it'll be worth it. Like, I'm getting close to my degree, and once I'm done with stuff this semester and next semester, I should be able to play like a hell of a lot more because the classes kind of get a little bit easier, which is nice. I appreciate it a lot, but certainly has been kind of challenging. I can't silk touch path blocks. Okay, so we can probably dig this out to some extent at least. And we'll work on the actual terrain at some point. I'll work on terraforming later. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of as much of this as I can before it's nighttime. I can get rid of this rain. Oh, I am pretty proud of it. It's been a total pain in the ass getting even this far. Like, this is gonna be my after this summer, I should say specifically, because I started college in fall 2018 because I got lucky and I got to do some full-time dual enrollment. So I'm actually heading into my 4th year of college. I'm a little behind, like, because I didn't know quite what degree I wanted to settle on. Like, I wanted to do computer science, and then ended up not wanting to do computer science. So if I had actually figured it out earlier, this would have actually been my last semester. But the exams ought to be okay. I mean, he said he's gonna be pretty nice about it and curve them quite a bit. Because he expects people to like, it's gonna be harder because it's cumulative, and then he knows people actually have like a life outside of his class as well, which is very good. Because some professors want you to give like a lot of attention to their class, like, specifically, and it can be a little stressful because it's like, why? I can't do it forever, but I mean, hey, I'm studying for it. I'm, getting there. As long as I literally don't like completely fail it with like a like as long as I don't get like an actual literal 30 on the exam or something lower than that, I should be okay. Because I just need to get a C. Like I have a B right now, and the lowest grade I think I can afford to get to still maintain a C is like a oh, I want to say it's 70 or something like that. Oh no, a C is a 70, but I mean like I think I can get a 50 on the exam or something. Oh yeah, I mean, well, I don't have a choice. I kind of have to take it in 2 days, so. But I mean, he's been clear about it too. He's got that same mentality actually, where like it's I mean, he literally said it's just a stupid exam, so don't worry about it. It's just I have to make sure I at least pass the class because if I fail this class, I lose all my funding because the only reason I'm in college right now is because my state, Florida. If you did some shit for this one scholarship, they pay for all your tuition for all 4 years, and I got it because I worked really hard and I got a hold of it. And if I fail one class, it's automatically revoked, like period. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. Which is it's not it hasn't been too bad so far, but I kind of have a rough time with certain math. Like algebra is fine. Like a lot of like basic math is fine for me, but I'm taking like a high level statistics course, so that's not quite as fine. I'm getting better at it though. Just sucks I'm getting better at it now at the end, but I mean, hey, I really don't mind as long as I pass it. That's all I've been worried about is just making sure it's passed. But I think I will. I don't have a whole bunch to worry about. Just need to keep at it is all. Grade-wise. Oh, it's more just pressure. I mean, this class is something I'm not gonna like. I'll use bits and pieces of this class like every now and then because I'm trying to learn how like the U.S. stock market works and all that kind of crap. But I'm only like at a very basic level of that for now. But I know like algorithmic trading is gonna be really important, so that's what this class is kind of useful for. But in terms of my normal like day-to-day job, not very useful, which makes it hard to stay motivated to actually try and like really commit a lot of this to memory because I will almost certainly not see a lot of these like statistic concepts like ever again. I might see a couple of them every now and then. Like I saw like stuff about like linear regression not too long ago, but outside of like the niche example here and there, it's not very consequential. How good or good I don't do on this. And like no one had to do this by heart isn't that big of a deal because you're allowed to use Google at your job, spoiler alert, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really have a whole bunch to stress out with it, but it's still just worrying because I just don't want to fail it. That's the biggest thing I'm worried about is failing it. Which I got enough time to study. Like I have 2 whole days I can do to study for it, on top of what I already been doing. Like I said, it ain't too terrible, but still something to keep an eye out for. I definitely misinputted some of this, didn't I? I guess that's fine. Alright, so that's pretty much all of this kind of cleared out. We'll add in like the odd staircase here or there, and I guess we'll start stomping out a bunch of this farmland, but fortunately it doesn't want to cooperate sometimes. Better. Yeah, exactly. Like there's the exams kind of are like a good like they're a good enough like test to see if you actually were paying attention in class and like in accounting, like in my accounting courses specifically, they're actually useful because it actually shows me personally that I know what I'm talking about half the damn time. Because sometimes it doesn't feel like I know what I'm doing, but then I like do pretty well on it with like no outside assistance, and then it's like, well, apparently I'm doing something right because I'm remembering all this from scratch, so that's gotta mean I'm at least competent a little bit. But it's just like when you're in an actual work environment, it doesn't matter as much that that you know it off the top of your head. Because if there's some like very niche thing, you can usually Google or ask for like help, and it's fine to do that because well, ain't nothing stopping you from doing it. Just as long as you get your job done, they don't really care. And as long as you don't literally do something illegal to get it done too, obviously. But it's just kind of is weird in college and high school as well, where they put so much emphasis on doing good on these exams, and then you can go out into the real world, and then wow, you're actually allowed to use outside help for literally anything you need to, as long as your job is done. Like whoa. But I think they're getting a little better nowadays, supposedly, at kind of like teaching you how to use Google properly, like in a work environment or something like that. So it's not like they're not aware of it, but certainly could do a lot better, teaching that kind of stuff, especially in high school. Like if they could just, it's a little bit more different in high school to some extent, I'd guess, but I think they already do teach a lot of that stuff in high school. But I mean, I wasn't in high school for 2 years actually, because I had to take full time to enrollment or high school, and I wasn't allowed back in high school. So, college it was, and it was a good choice. But yeah, I mean, they gotta like really emphasize in the future too, especially maybe not as much in high school if they're still just trying to like make sure you as a person know what you're doing without having to over rely on technology. But college, when you've kind of already done a lot of the hard work and heavy lifting of high school, and you're getting ready to actually go out and get like a corporate job or something similar, that's when they should probably teach you like really hard how to like effectively use Google and technology as a whole to make your life easier. Because if you're just willingly like limiting yourself because you think not allowed to use the internet, or you don't know how to use it properly to actually search stuff efficiently, then you're just limiting yourself, and that stinks. That makes it harder to do anything else in life. So kind of hope they start really emphasizing that more in the future, but they kind of are to some extent. Like the class I actually took recently, is like teaching how to make a proper like LinkedIn page and all that kind of stuff, and I guess it helps to at least know. I just don't know if I got to actually update my picture. I got my hair cut in the time since I got my picture taken, and now I got to learn how to shave too. That's another thing. Knowing how to Google shit, very useful. Got to be able to use it a lot more. But it just is harder to stay motivated in certain classes because you always are gonna have that shit to fall back on. Because I'm not gonna have to worry about memorizing all this stuff because I won't need it all the time, and the very few times where I do need it, and it'll be okay because I don't need to worry about it or nothing. But we're gonna use some of our wood here. Well, not I guess wood actually. We'll use cobblestone as placeholders for this. I don't feel like going back to get that stuff for now. But we need a house on this plot of land here. And again, this is just outlining, so we don't need to really overemphasize it or nothing. There we go. And then probably like another be okay. There we go. I'd say it's a pretty reasonable amount. Don't need too many, because these are going to be like 2-story houses as well. So, I could reasonably like fit in like 2 to 3 villagers in each of these houses. So that's between 4 and 6, and that's more than enough for this area. So I'm pretty okay with that. The last little bit I need to do, like, and I'll probably do other stuff today as well, but we need to pop into this hill really quickly and go ahead and fill in all this stuff with dirt. That is literally cobblestone. I clicked dirt, but okay. Oh, the thing is though, well, not as much on nutrition anymore, but they already do, they already do teach a lot of stuff on like, basic finances and all that kind of stuff. They don't teach home economics as much anymore from what I've heard, but they did actually offer like certain financial classes when I was in high school. The problem was, from what I remember, you had to be like a junior or a senior, and I was in fact not around for that stuff. So a little rough. So I can't take that class if I'm not going there, and the district wouldn't pay for anything that wasn't able to be directly used towards like a degree. So, but I mean, since I'm literally becoming like an accountant or like some kind of financial analyst for a living, of course I'm gonna have a lot more finances now. But it'd be good to actually have that be a required class in like public high schools and all that, because you can take it as an elective, but it's an elective. And even if it's a public class too, to some extent, that doesn't always even work out anymore. Anyways, I have to remember to leave space for that. So we'll just kind of put this in a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, hell, even private schools here have a hard time teaching people stuff because things are gotten a lot worse in U.S. schools from what I've been hearing. Like teachers are having a lot harder of a time like actually getting kids to learn and like sit down, and now they're just literally turning into babysitters at this point. And they get paid like babysitters too, which isn't cool either. But and shit's getting wacky over here too, because teaching is now unfortunately a political thing, and that's no good either. But there's enough kind of stuff in public schools to be okay. Like it's barely passable, but it's fine. Not really fine in Florida because it's Republican and gonna ban like every damn book they don't agree with at this point. But there's like enough that can probably change to make things a little bit better in the future. I need to go get that glass real quick, and we're actually no, I don't need to. I'll get rid of it yet. It's gonna stay. I didn't bring any wood with me. This needs to stay. That's where I want to put in some more fencing. But public schooling's always been kind of wacky for me growing up because it's just I always got in a lot of trouble as a kid, and you know that was never fun. And that, like I said, that just wasn't fun. I don't really like talking about it a whole bunch, but it's only apparently gotten worse for a lot of other people, especially after COVID. Like COVID changed so much. Like I just got out of high school just in the nick of time because like as soon as I graduated, like COVID was just starting, so we actually had to have our graduation, all digital crap. That was unfortunate, but luckily it don't really matter. It just was kind of stupid as shit. Like all you do for graduation is you walk up to somebody and they hand you your diploma. That's a toilet. That's crazy, but it was just boring no matter what. I don't really mind diploma on stage. Also, I did not like a lot of the staff there anyway, so I wasn't missing out too. Now we should do it here. And one, two, two. Oh shoot, I definitely inverted this. This should go into there. Whoops. Wait, oh, I'm already goofing again. Ah, shit. Oh well. Honestly, it don't really matter all too much as long as it kind of vaguely lines up. Okay, so it should go one, then two, and then it buckles. And then we go back up to here, and then that's where that two is. One, three, then here we go. Oh, this is where the farmers are gonna live. I just still want there to be at least some like. Well, I'll probably get rid of the water up here, maybe. But all the farmers are gonna live here. Like we'll build a house there and like one here, pretty much, and then they can just walk straight out to the farm over there. I'm gonna have like a lot more like mood lighting and all that, so it's not really just gonna be like aggressively torch spam. Like I'll use like soul lanterns at some point, if I had to guess, but don't need to for now. But I kind of want this to be a lot more like atmospheric and kind of like a Hobbit hole kind of deal. You know how that goes. But I mean, since they are farmers, I'm gonna have to put a lot more of an emphasis on greenery, which is what I kind of am doing, you know. Or at least trying to. Still learning how to build properly, but getting better at it. That's kind of what building this whole village from the ground up is for, too. It's really just a practice run for the actual sphere, because the sphere is just going to be a big village, but like ridiculously big, and then I'm going to try and keep the same level of detail and like consistent the whole way through. And that will not be easy, and it will actually take multiple years because I have 9 million blocks of space to work with. So, running out of space really won't happen before I inevitably die. I mean, it might. I might genuinely run out of space before I die, and then I'll, have to. Well, I'm building the column regardless, so I guess it's still gonna be an absolute behemoth of like a structure, and it's all just going. It's all just gonna house like a huge city. So all this is just kind of groundwork until that happens, and we'll, maybe mesh some of this up a little bit better. But yeah, this is just where the farmers are going. We'll just build a little like house or two for them, and then like we'll have that house here, and then we'll have that one there, and all they really. I could always have like a third house too, but I'll probably have like I could actually have the third house here. So we have one there, and one there, and they're more like little shacks basically. They're just like nice little cozy shacks where because there's only going to be 3 composters, so only 3 farmers. Because we're gonna have one for carrot, one for potato, and then one for wheat. Which actually we might want to get rid of the one for wheat because I don't want them. Well, they don't turn wheat into bread either, do they? They just pass around wheat and they have seeds. So yeah, this thing is pretty much my starter base. Like I've been living this whole island. Actually, I've been living here since like God, I don't even remember. I think it's been even before day 100. Like all this used to be Podzol, and it took so long to terrace all this and like terraform it the way I've done it. But all this has just been a warm up for that huge ass like giga base I'm working on constant in the background. Is that thing is going to be like my absolute like crowning achievement in this world, because if I can get that thing filled up completely with shit and still maintain like that nice level of detail, that shit is just straight up impressive. I don't think anybody else has even come close to something like that if that ends up getting filled up completely. Is just between the sheer size and detail, man, like oh my god, it's just gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. But I think we've actually we should have gotten most of our outlining done. We'll go put in just a tiny little bit more for the villagers here or whatever, but grand majority of it is good. I know I'm not using terracotta, but I don't need to. It's all underground anyways. Cobble one's not excusable though, but that's alright. And again, it's just a little shack here, so nothing too fancy. They get enough room for their bed and like maybe a couple of other little things. We can maybe bring it up to the. There we go. That's at least reasonable. Door that way or door this way? Actually, maybe we should. I can't really push it one any farther. I think a door like this should be a little bit better. Yeah, we'll do that because this is more of a back area, just to have like a little bit of foliage back here and all that. And then we'll go ahead and just. I think I can reasonably bake some of it into the wall here, considering it's all underground. I have a bunch of moss and whatnot that I need to grab at some point. I don't want to build over the glass either, so I'm trying to make. Dang, I say I'm gonna give him a small little like place to live in, and then give him like big ass house compared to all the other ones. We'll switch the door to here. They can walk across the glass. It's okay. We got our like, little one here. I'm saying little at this point. Wow. There you go. I'd say something like that's at least fair in size. Maybe extend it back just a little bit more. Because of how big these are actually going to be, like we still have some space for some like, various greenery and all that kind of stuff too. Because of just the sheer size of these damn things, we might actually, I might figure out something more to do with these in the future. I don't know what that would entail or what that would be specifically, but I think I can do a little bit more with this stuff at some. I'll actually expand this at the little double because it's kind of big. As in, we might maybe house more farmers and like expand this out just a slight little bit or something. Like I can actually probably take down the pumpkin farm and then like relocate it into my base and then just have this be like another farm or something. So then we could actually have 4. And I want to have some kind of building baked into this part here as well. Instead of it being dirt, like that should be terracotta, that should be terracotta, or that should say is dirt, considering these are supposed to be purposely like natural. But this one specifically, I want to be a little bit more of an actual building where they can like maybe like I don't fucking know, like bulk storage or something. But I gotta run out of ideas at some point. It's just a little wacky, but I mean you can see how much we've even cleared out over here too. But I'm planning on lighting up literally everything as far as I can see to make sure nothing can spawn. He's just floating around because they can do whatever, and he's dead. He despawned. Okay. Anyways, everything's lit up. Looks pretty good. We got all of our framing done. So we'll go ahead and update the map real quick at the base to kind of show it off a little bit. I should actually pack away some of these shulker boxes now. But that means I think we're done with all of the outlining. I don't know if there's anything left to do with it. So what's gonna have to happen is I need to get my tools fixed up here soon. And I need to start kind of figuring out stuff. Like we have some trees here that need to be planted at some point. I'll mark them out on the map a little bit better. But it's, pretty much done here. I can just start building houses and, well, I got that whole like floating one that I've talked about in the past. I'd like to, but I'm not building that one until near the end because it's actually quite a lot to do. So we're just going to vaguely sort kind of all these things. I've already been keeping enough track of them anyways. Glass in there, and then it's here is where the gunpowder needs to go. More dirt, cobble, and poppies. So cobble, poppies, and we'll dye a lot of these boxes as well. So I just don't want to right now. Well, let's go ahead and update our map, see what we're working with here. You can see a lot of that already got changed. Looking a lot better. We still have a little bit of grass that needs to spread. Obviously can't see nothing in there, but that's alright. The overall shape of it, and when it's actually like kind of outlined better by more fences, I think it'll look like really nice. So I think we'll just Oh shoot! I totally forgot to grab the wood out of that box. Oh shit! Which one did I bury it in? No. Oh, I'm gonna have to peek through a lot of these now because I put away some wood. Oh, found them already, and we'll put the hoppers away too. But we need to start making fence gates and all that now. Or not fence gates, just fences. But we'll do that while we wait for that grass to spread as well. And then I guess next time I can start building a lot of stuff. Maybe we can do a little bit, but I think today I should probably try and get the rest of the fencing in and double check some stuff, making sure it's all walkable properly, and then it's really just start building in buildings. So that shouldn't take too long, be too difficult rather. There we go. That's quite a nice. Alrighty, I think this should be enough. Don't see me needing too much more. I just pop on down here. And we'll for some of these lightning rods as well, we'll like make like dedicated buildings or certain for some of these. I don't want them too low to the ground in case like somehow some like weird shit happens where they end up striking one of them to a wit. And you know that's only gonna happen if it's too low to the ground. And all we really need to do is just go around the edge here and just, you know, put in some fences, do a little bit of terraforming on certain parts, like here, probably just kind of maybe get rid of just a little bit, something like that. And you know, we can kind of curve some of this away at some point. But the actual shoreline is pretty good, so I'm not going to try and move it. And then like parts like this are just a little weird, because we still have all this dirt. So I'm probably gonna have to build it either 2 blocks high or get rid of some of this. I'll actually probably get rid of some. Well, maybe I don't need to. Well, actually I do need to get rid of them. Oh, then they'll get stuck into a place like that. Ah, damn it. I just don't want this to be too crazy high. Like I don't think anything higher than that would happen. And it needs to eventually slope back down. I just want to make sure they don't escape neither. Like see like that, like they could technically do that. So they're gonna wall up a nice chunk of this. Here we go. And we can kind of let it curve back. Just, I mean, I can always, I can fix this later too, honestly. Like, it's not permanent by any means, but it's, you know, it just kind of is what it is for now until I figure out something better later. It's fine. It doesn't look that ugly, or it probably won't look that ugly. I just need to have something in place. We might want to actually, maybe move this back just a little bit. Easy enough fix though. And then also it adds a little bit more shape to the house as well. So yeah, we'll just say that was intentional the whole time. Yeah, totally. Same with what's about to happen over here. We'll just say it was intentional so I could, you know, make sure these houses aren't so square and you know, they actually have some more shape to them or something. Oh, aren't I great at building? Just to be safe. There we go. And that's also an issue as well. Damn. Well, something's gotta take a hit. Probably just demolish this for now, then we'll probably just rebuild it from the ground up here. Goes here like this. And then bring this in. I need a little bit more cobble, I guess. Nothing too major, I can just go run back and get some later. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? We're just gonna mine some out of here, and then I'll just go ahead and just, you know, catch it back up with grass. I've been meaning to get rid of all this stone here anyway, so that's good enough for now. And you know, at some point we're gonna be actually terraforming this so it slopes back down to here. I just need all the fences in first before I can even attack that. It's not gonna help without fences. And it's a good thing I saved all that dirt because we still have all this that needs to be filled in so we can terraform it later. We ought to be good. It should be just enough to finish this up. It is, yeah. I feel like we could move this back just a little bit. I got a little bit of an alley, so they can still walk back behind here. We'll have like a small little, like, you know, bit of foliage here and here. I do want to actually have windows in place, obviously. So like we'd have like a window here, or maybe a window there and, well, window there and there. And then, you know, we'd have a window there and a window there. Because you don't want to go too overboard with windows and all that. But I gotta have some, at least. And then, you know, all wood's down here. So we'll have to work on that at some point. This is the, you know, this is the start of the dock and all that. And I don't want them going out to the dock, so we'll have all this kind of locked up with gates and all. Then it would just connect back up normally. So what I'll go ahead and do is just use some spruce log as placeholder for now. Here we go. So yeah, we'll just put in fence gates here. This will get swapped out with cobblestone and all that. That'll be pretty good. Oh yeah, it's coming along pretty nicely. I do actually want to build like a whole like ship, kind of like docked like about here or so. So you know you can get into there. The reason it has to be on this side and not this side is, again, the iron farm. I still want to leave that there. I would never ever try to move that if I can help it. But to make sure that's still possible, I need to, you know, make sure we got enough clearance. So nice seeing you again, Jake. It's like what, like I want to say it's like 2 a.m. or almost 3 a.m. UK. So surprised you're even up this late. But either way, it's been nice talking to you again. So take care out there. And congrats on finishing that copper sphere, by the way. That stuff takes a while. It takes a while to gather the materials too, so either way, congrats. Wish you well. Go ahead and get the rest of this today, and I'll probably call it. That should be fine. We'll maybe back a little bit. There we go, something like that. I'll have to get rid of the torch spam later. 2 a.m. Oh, see you another day. Well, it's good here, actually. Connect back up. Oh, that's a tool. That's crazy. Some of this beach needs to be redone a little bit. The beach has now been redone a little bit. That counts. And all this is for was just a temporary thing. Go ahead and section this off. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, nothing else. We connected it all back up correctly, so hey, that's cool. We need to, you know, do just the slightest little bit here, for example. Like we need to make sure that this is actually connected up. There we go. And we would just put in some cobblestone up into here, and just chain it up into there as well. We need to put some of this in. We're gonna go ahead and actually move this so it's in line with this chunk right here of land. Because we're gonna have to put in a staircase later when I get the cobblestone back. So we're just prepping up for that basically. And then we just need like a little bit more fencing is all. So they shouldn't, just to make sure we're kind of all on the same page here, they shouldn't really be able to actually like leave here, We'd have like a fence gate here. And then when it comes to this spot here, they actually will be able to go here. And then it's just connecting this up as well. And then, we would just tuck this back away a little bit more. There we go, something like that. I'll have a little bit of foliage here and there. It'll be fine. Go ahead and do something like this real quick. And yeah, it would just be, getting in some cobblestone to connect these up. We'd have our little staircase and then it connects back up into here. And then obviously this part here would have it doesn't need fence gates, that's just to make sure nothing wanders in from the ocean right now while this is still in progress, but they'd be able to walk up all the way up this back into the main village if they wanted to, or they can like take anywhere else to do that as well. But we got the outline of it done. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This is intentional because this is leading up back into the mountain. So all we need to do really is just put in some more staircases at certain parts. Like this whole walkway needs to be completely remodeled to, look cooler. Because it's just stone, and that's fine. It's passable for now, but it's gonna be like remodeled a hell of a lot nicer. And then it's really just getting in buildings and stuff nowadays. I don't have a whole bunch left to do. That's pretty neat. We've gotten the actual bulk of this done. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Not really too much to say at the moment. I'll go ahead and go get the map updated, and then I'll probably go ahead and call it for tonight. Let's go ahead and see what we're working with. It should be pretty good. I'm gonna have to actually take all of them and go fly around proper to have this updated better. Maybe not. You can already see it's actually already upgrading or updating. Not all of it. Oh, no, that's right, because if I wanted to keep it consistent, I'd have to put just a little bit on that tip up there. Hmm. Yeah, it looks pretty good with that outline, so that's cool. We will probably just, change just a slight little bit up on this mountain part. Since none of the villagers can, like, they can, go through this tunnel, but they can't get up to here, I can probably, like, repurpose some of this. I could actually have a proper bridge going out to there, and all that stuff that make it look like a bridge and all that. And then I can actually have, like, a reason to put the fences up there, because otherwise it's just going to be, like, there for the color on the maps, but really for no other reason. But we're getting closer and closer every day. Now we didn't work on the sphere the past couple of weeks, maybe, but I don't really want to. But yeah, we can definitely repurpose some of this land. Like here would be a great place to have this bridge, or maybe just a slight little bit down. But we can repurpose some of this land, so I actually have an excuse to put in fences all around. That's gonna go ahead and do it for me today. So we'll go ahead and sleep and go ahead and do Okay. Been fun. But yeah, it's been good. So we're gonna go ahead and call it. It is day 664. We got all of our outlining done for the rest of our houses and all that, so we can actually start building like entire houses and actually get the city done. So we got it all planned out. We need to figure out some building styles and all that kind of stuff, but we'll go ahead and call it there for today. So thank you guys again for watching, and I hope to catch you guys next time, which again won't be for a little while. I got exams coming up the next couple of days, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm probably taking another break for another like 2 to 3 days. I'll stream more like later in the nights, but we won't be doing any sphere building until next week. And then the next week we're gonna probably be building quite a lot more. But either way, again, thanks for watching, and I have to see y'all next time. Bye bye.